So I just want to throw together a quick little sort of overview on the SVL75-2 Kubota. This one's an older unit off a rental lot while my machine's in the shop, but just quick and dirty summary. About 74 horse, I think on the high flow you get like 27 gallons a minute. Lifts, I don't know. It just lifts things, that's all I know. Got tracks are fairly easy to clean out. I know it's hard to tell, but they're sloped on each side here so the mud falls out. Haven't had an issue with the tracks coming off yet, and they aren't super tight either. This is a vertical lift machine. There's your fuel filler cap right here and your safety support for the lift arms. Around here, fairly easy access. There's the radiator, coolant reservoir there, air filter, oil dipstick, oil fill, and then you got filters and stuff kind of tucked away down there. I believe the battery's down in the bottom one side over here. I have not looked. There's the battery. And then there's the DPF, what everybody hates. Kubota does pretty good on their regen cycles. Realistically, you don't even know what's happening other than it beeping at you. Just turn it wide open while it's in regen and forget about it. Yeah, not super cramped. Wouldn't be fun to work on, but no machine really is. The door, what I don't like here is you have to have that pin dropped in to hold the door open. This side here, to set the top door down, you just hold it and pick that rod up. Super easy. Around to this side, other track. Here's your hydraulic fill. One downside to the vertical lift is doing forestry work. You get limbs and stuff down in here, and it's easy to rip this hose off. You've got matching tie downs on each corner on the front, and then back here as well. Right now I've got, I think this is like a 74-inch blue diamond root grapple thing. These holes right here, there's 5 bolts on each side, and there's side panels that fit on, so you can hold loose material like dirt. The quick couplers over here, there's a standard flow. There will be another setup here for high flow. You can just push in on these. Let's see if I can get it one-handed here. Nope, not one-handed. But these quick couplers, they push in about 1/2 inch to dump the pressure, so you're not fighting it. This unit does not have the hydraulic attach, so you've just got the manual pins that lift up. Fairly easy to get in and out of. There is no step on the side of the lift arms, so if you're having to step on the track, you do slide if they're wet. Come down here, this is where your control would be for the hydraulic attachment. Here's your DPF inhibit switch. It even says it right there, inhibit switch. Down here's the computer. Got your 2 lap bars, both of them have to be down to run it. Got your right stick, does your drive, forward, back, left, right. These buttons here are horn and auxiliary controls. And then over here you have your auxiliaries, constant flow on your auxiliary, extra, more auxiliaries, and then the trigger back here. If you push it all the way down and then hit that, it puts it into float. Trigger on this stick is your 2-speed, so you just click that, go up to about 7.1 miles per hour. Down here is your hydraulic enable. So when you first start the machine, the parking brake is on, the hydraulics are locked out. And that also goes for every time you pick up the lap bars. So every time you get in, you have to hit that. There is a parking brake you can enable. That also comes on when you flip the lap bars up. But if you're just sitting there talking to somebody, you want to turn that on because these will creep downhill. There's your auxiliary enable for the attachment. You cannot run the auxiliaries without hitting that. You can also turn them back off with that. There's your lights. So you've got, trying to get it in the middle there. There's front and rear headlights. Go ahead and start it for you. But your warning lights, glow plug, all that. Once the glow plugs go out, just turn the key. This machine is at 1181 hours. As I said before, you can't do anything with the hydraulics until you turn that on. So if I flip up the lap bar, you'll see the parking brake light comes on and the hydraulic lockout. Flip down the lap bar, hit the green button, disables your parking brake and the lockout. Red button here does your parking brake. So with the parking brake on, you can't move the machine. Turn that off. Now I can move the lift arms, but I have no auxiliary. Come down here, turn on the auxiliary, green light comes on. Now you can run your auxiliaries. And that button there does your constant flow. And then if I click the trigger back here, I get rabbit mode on the 2-speed. This is an older machine, so you got the hand throttle there. The newer ones just have a knob right here, and then they've all got a foot throttle. It's a turbocharged 74 horse Kubota diesel on these. But yeah, all in all, pretty simple machine. The newer version of the 75s, 65s, I think they all have it. This switch right here shuts off your automatic leveling on the bucket. Right now, that's curled all the way in. I'm just gonna lift the arms up and you can see it starting to curl out. I'm gonna go all the way up to the stop and back down. I'm not gonna touch the curl function at all. See, not touching curl, just going straight down. Oh, look at that. It's curled out quite a bit. So now I can curl it back in. These do not auto level the bucket on the way back down. That is something to remember. As you come up, it'll level. So if I just go up and down a few times, you'll see it slowly starts to dump the bucket. You get used to it. I just don't care for it coming from equipment that doesn't auto level at all. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal really. And then you'll see the hydraulics lock out once you flip that up. We shut the machine off again. And I mean, that's about it really. Super simple machine, suspension seat. This is not a full cab, so there's no air conditioning or radio or any of that stuff. Your hydraulic fluid check is, I believe, supposed to be down there, but this one does not seem to have that, so I don't know what the deal is with that. There's a cigarette lighter port there for your phone charger, or, well, cigarette lighter, that was obvious. Then you got data plates and stuff all over these. They do show the control patterns as well. There's your auxiliary hydraulics. This one does not have the 14-pin connector, so you can't run more than one auxiliary function, but yeah, I can't push those in. There is a case drain though, in case your attachment needs that. Most high flow attachments do. This machine does not have high flow, so you don't have that. But yeah, and that's about it. Fun machine to run. They seem fairly well built. Not super expensive. Easy to get to all the grease zerks. Just, they're right at every pin. They're not hidden. Yeah, really, I think that's about it. The cab does tip backwards on these. There's, if I show you, right here and right there, there's 2 bolts, and you can lift the whole cab. That gets held up by these gas struts right here. And then once that's flipped up, you lock it in place with this pin, which is just a spring pin, is all that is. There is also a maintenance diagram down here, show you when you need to grease and what you need to grease. Yeah, that's about it. I'll go get a video operating it now. Go move some big logs with it, run it around a little. I don't want to run it up here. I'll tear the yard up too bad.